Audio check, audio check. Okay, there we go. Oof. Sorry for the slow start. Just, gut was not feeling super happy, so stalled a little bit. Anyways, welcome to today's Great Ace Attorney stream. Last we left, we were talking with the research assistant that, or the forensics lead that is, for some reason, buying F loads of scalpels. Like, I wonder what they could possibly be doing with all these scalpels that are definitely real.
18 scalpels a day.
18 scalpels a day they're burning through. Man, it's all because that one guy who keeps losing them in people.
But how many surgeries is he performing a day to lose 18 in people?
I mean, maybe he's losing multiple in one person.
He's playing Operation?
Yeah, he's playing Operation.
Very poorly.
Or maybe they're one-time use scalpels. You make a single cut.
Oh, are these not biodegradable scalpels? I thought you leave them in there and then
Biodegradable scalpels. You cut the person open, and then you're just like, hey, here's like, yeah,
leave it in there.
here's a snack for you. I'll just leave this in your belly, and it's like candy and it dissolves. Oh, that'd be awesome. How delicious. But yes, so for today, I want to try and challenge myself, or more accurately, to try and restrain myself. There's been a certain movie I've mentioned almost every 5 minutes on the last stream because of just how exactly perfect it is to this case. So I'm gonna see how long I can go without saying it, and that could be, 2 seconds. She could say something right now that's gonna make me yell it, but we'll.
I thought we finished talking to her.
Oh, did we finish talking to her? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We're off to go.
Her, clone daughter in a plague doctor.
Right, her. Oh man, like, why is her daughter in a plague doctor mask? And why is she that personality of like, I wanna cut him up? Ah. She's that kind of freako. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, trying not to mention it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna see where we were at. What was the last thing we did? Move. We want to go to 2 spells, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, because we finally we gotta see Sholmes.
And he should theoretically be there this time because we talked about needing to talk to him.
We mentioned that we needed to see him, therefore that should be the summoning ritual completed. Madame 2 spells, Museum of Waxworks.
Here we are again, at the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet. I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home. Via the confectionery, of course.
Sasada-san really is after something sweet today, isn't she?
Eek!
What's the matter?
Look, Mr. Naruto. Look at that waxwork.
Is it Sholmes?
I'm quite sure it wasn't there before.
It's gotta be Sholmes.
It's gotta be Sholmes. I love that his pose is the fucking, like, he's flexing on him. But, like, he's not in a pose like he's going to stop the crime. He's in a pose like, oh, yo, check it. I'm gonna take a selfie next to this murder.
It looks exactly like it looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very last detail.
That's because it is.
Aha.
What is it?
Oh, sorry. I think you'll find that's the temporary waxwork himself. Oh, hello. Oh. Hello. Hey there, Madame 2 spells. How are you doing this evening?
Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee.
Oh, yes. Hello again. It's Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
I must say, I'm quite spellbound by the great detective. He is a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs.
You don't mean...
You found it already?
But yes, the mystery is solved already.
Wow. Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough.
So as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties.
Yes, I can see that.
His habitual duties? Alone. Do not disturb. Ah?
Oh, shh. Oh, I think I got that. Wait, did I get that? I have to check. It's important. Did she vanish? She started to turn into a ghost.
Transparent.
That's okay. That's gonna be. You know what? That's all right. That's doable. I can work with that. I'll just reverse the transparency when I open it up in my image editing.
Enhance.
I'll use that like enhance to just fix it. Poor Sasato-san. She looks very perplexed. I wish there was like a mode where you could just view the models of the characters, just take pictures, just because there's so many, and like nice poses that you could use for hijinks. All right, let's say hi to him.
We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he?
That's him.
He's just like, oh, I'm right here. I'm jamming out. What is going on? Just Sholmes, man. I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually.
Oh! Wait, what do you mean?
Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I. The world-famous great detective in waxwork, Herlock Sholmes. Sasato is in awe. I think she was literally floored.
She's gonna.
Sasato-san.
Maybe she'll flip him.
Sasato-san.
No, just faint.
No, she was spooked. She got spooked. Oh, Sholmes, are you sorry for that? My most humble apologies.
I thought I'd died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment, via London.
My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality.
I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
Because I'm poor. Merely a secret identity, you understand? Though the case is largely solved now. We're gonna open the curtain and we're gonna be like, that looks like dude. I'm sure that's gonna be what it is.
Largely solved.
We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today, for that matter. Sholmes? Is Sholmes hungry? Ooh, hold for one moment. Hey, these icons you're working on, could you send me like a PNG of some of them? I might make them emotes.
Really?
Yeah. But later.
I can just send you the like straight up this line because these ones are gonna start rotating to
yeah.
make it into a repeating pattern,
Yeah.
directional.
That's why I bugged you now, because I'm just like, ooh, wait, you're gonna jumble them all in a second. CaptnmcD's working on a project, and I want to adopt some of her work.
Ooh, you probably aren't allowed to use it till after Christmas.
Yes,
For
I
reasons.
yes, understandably, some of this work will be shelved for later, but that's okay. It's I just want these things in my archive for later. Rumble, rumble, rumble. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. How'd you manage to solve it so quickly? Ah, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
Oh yes, it's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away.
Oh, you know what? That's genuine at this point. It's like, you wouldn't believe it. I talked to him despite the fact he was a whole country away.
In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. That's amazing. Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Well, because they wanted a ransom.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yeah, that means they intend to return it for money.
Yeah, they intend to return it for money. Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive.
But does that not mean your negotiating was entirely unnecessary?
Welcome back, yo. What's up? Welcome back, Oryx. How goes it, yo? We're just starting, yeah, we're doing some Ace Attorney now, because this game is also great. A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Two Spells at all costs. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street, after all.
You need to get paid.
Poor Iris, yeah, I need to get paid for the zero work I did. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? Yes, we do have some business. Hey. Hey, you. What's going on? Enoch Drebber. We're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh?
Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Hairbrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine.
A swindler and an engineer. Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. We have so few clues to go on. That's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance at least, I may be in a better position to help. Let me look at him, then I'll tell you where he is. Yes, Drebber's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach.
So if you pay me...
As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Thoughts on it. Yeah. Kazuma's death. Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Mr. Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about?
Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body.
Indeed, and wherein lies the problem? Yeah, good news, found a way to fill mini metal book. I can steal mini metals from some enemies. Oh, ha, lol, what? That's doable? That's busted, but useful. We met him earlier today, the victim, Kazuma Asogi. Oh, you're quite sure? Are you sure about that?
He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure it was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead.
Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all? Priceless. I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo? I could believe that the crewman present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes.
Even though you're a bumble sometimes.
Yeah, even though you're a bumble, we know you know. One more steal from the enemy to be able to do the thing. You're gonna do the thing. Good luck with the thing. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. And he's referring not to the court case we're on, because that's been solved. We're gonna be dealing with what's our bro doing there? Okay, so we do have something to show him. We have some presents. Hey, if you saw this guy, where would we find him? Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print?
It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber. The face of the engineer we seek.
He looks like Axel Lowe in a suit. Like from Guilty Gear. Like, Sickles. Yeah.
Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive.
And then he's like, this
Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes?
is a different looking
Ah, yes. Forgive me.
Oh, he knows something that he is not gonna tell us.
Yep.
That's what that was.
Very interesting, this. Very interesting indeed.
What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden.
He's like, you guys are
Oh,
OCD.
you guys are seeing someone that you should not see.
We are supposed to keep you out of this.
I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me?
Oh, well, what is it?
As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. And I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains.
Oh, yes, the professor exhibit, isn't it?
Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings? That's a special one-time only price, you understand.
What?
The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor?
Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone?
The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it.
Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes?
Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness.
I can never tell with you. That's the point.
Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings.
Gratefully received. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure.
Okay, are we gonna see Enoch or are we gonna see Asmon? It might be Enoch.
Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see that special exhibit.
I suspect this is gonna be a scene end. Through those heavy curtains at last. Da-na-na, what are we gonna see? Oh man, it won't even show us.
You gotta go do it.
I gotta do it
You
myself.
gotta activate.
5 shillings we've had to pay. Doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? Lurk. Oh, yo, what's up? Hope you have a chill time.
No. Ah! Oh, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills.
Listen, I'll have a proper lurk function in a second. I swear I had one, but I don't know what happened to it. So, I'll fix it later. It's cool. Maybe by next time. I like lurking. I'm running in the background. Ah, wicked. I hope you enjoy my goofy voice acting. My goofy out of context voice acting. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is this what makes Britain great? Not to mention, demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands are chip-loving inspectors.
Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think.
Yeah, it's like everyone else is like a crude description. He's just like, he eats too much fast food. No! Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, don't block me off. Don't give me a fade to black. Oh man, what we saw in that room was nuts. Huh. Of course the head is missing. Wait, what?
Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as he walked in here.
Mr. Sato, I say we turn our heels and go straight home. We are a really big confectionery.
We certainly can't do that. We've paid 5 shillings already.
True.
Look at the owl in the back.
Where's... Oh yeah, that owl is just... It's chilling. It's very bright.
Bushy eyeballs.
Now I'm looking a little more closely. We've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of this great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place.
This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved.
It's mostly solved. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where?
I mean, look at the one that's complete.
Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we?
That person's got long hair. It's just
Yeah, let's look at that guy. Let's look at that other face on the left.
Yes, we will get what we paid for.
Is that fear or frustration? It's making Sasada-san's voice tremble. Well, I need 20 more middle medals. Ooh, it's okay. Do the grind. You'll get it. Alright, let's examine you!
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real.
It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat.
And he has a large shovel in his hand, too. Look.
Perhaps we should investigate in a little more detail.
Yes. It moved.
It moved!
It turned away from us.
It turned away from us. What the fuck?
It's another Sholmes in here.
Who are you? Who are you?
He's got
a single monocle. He's got a single monocle. I can't see his face very well. Can you?
Perhaps if I just... Oh, do you think we should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruto?
I'll put it back exactly as it was. Don't worry. Ooh.
That's the dude.
That's the dude. Da-na-na.
What on earth? How can...
I don't believe it. A black monocle.
Mr. Naruto, is it possible that this man is...
Except the best one for Eric now and for the hero himself. Ooh, nice. Oh no! It's Enoch Drubber.
The color of his hair is different, but it's
unmistakably him. It's our guy. Indeed it is. Oh, okay. Whew. I was very worried that was going to be like a nefarious voice.
Oh.
Yeah, I was worried it was going to be someone punching us and then running away.
Ever since we've been tased, we'll never get over the fact that somebody might suddenly take us down.
Yeah. Also, who's to say the head's on the right body in this scene?
Well, do you think he's not? He moved away from us when we were trying to see his face. That turned.
Yeah, that thing definitely turned. That thing moved. That thing moved for sure. And I don't know if that's game jank or like
If that's
if he's
dude.
actually just a dude. Mr. Sholmes. He's like hanging out here the whole time.
This man is the subject of your present hunt, I presume. I believe.
Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit?
Same as me, he's poor.
And why does the convict behind him have no head?
The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it.
What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it?
Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations.
Do you know, though, something about this room is strange.
Strange? What do you mean?
Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not?
Indeed they are, Mr. Sato. Do go on.
What was this event?
And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable.
This is a man coming out of his grave.
Yeah, this is a man coming out of his grave.
But this one... This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it?
Did a man fake his death?
I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago.
Da-na-na. 10 years ago, resurrecting convict? And the young witness.
I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh gosh, an enormous hound. How awful.
After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted.
A closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity?
As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging.
Okay, I was just gonna say, if he doesn't
Yeah.
just out again at some point and nobody knows who he is, seems a little...
Yeah, seems a little sus.
He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair.
Oh,
The very night he was buried, the convicted man came back to life.
Came back to life?
He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness to the chilling events.
There was a witness.
But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than the young man in the white overcoat.
Enoch Drebber. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen. Or it's him. I think the head's on the wrong guy. I think that might be a thing. The young witness. So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber.
10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old.
so horrifying.
Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight.
Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him. His hair is completely white.
For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Two Spells.
I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard, in the middle of the night.
Yes, what was he up to?
Robin?
He was like, I was just gonna rob the dude. Following the execution.
The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into a complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder.
Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had.
But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, a preposterous parlor tale.
But why did people stop believing it?
Because
Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact.
What do you mean by no resurrection?
The police investigated the grave in Low Gate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution.
No. But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and newspapers.
That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes.
Unless, you know, the dude killed someone, put him in his grave.
The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think?
Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. It's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white. If that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe that the incident was an out-and-out lie. Da-na-nam. Is there anything else to see with this? Let's look at the headless body.
This must be the killer. The fiend known as the Professor.
Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Tuspel said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood.
The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place.
I know. Looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. What are we going to see here? There's going to be something, I'm sure. Okay, we'll look at the nub.
So this is the condemned man.
Yes, the so-called professor.
Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost.
Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mr. Sato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see?
And then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it.
That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it?
Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum.
And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. What's this?
Rubble.
It looks like a piece of broken glass from the crystal. Yeah, from the Millennium Tower. It's the Millennium Building.
It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say.
Look, where could such a thick piece of glass come from, I wonder?
I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength.
But why?
Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area. Such as in a big building, for example.
Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? Some of the glass was broken, too.
You don't mean?
Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition.
But why would the glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxwork's jacket?
I wonder why. What could possibly have happened here? Makes you think, doesn't it? The piece of broken glass has been entered into the court record. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence, or is a certain plot happening? Is there a thing happening? Number 139. Anything else around here? Here, no buttons. Okay, just doing a cursory glance. Okay, I think that's that. Owl? Hello? No, nothing for the owl. Anything around here? Shovel.
It's got purple on it, I think it's on, but I think it's just the light.
Yeah, I think that's lighting. Yeah.
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we've got this. Choo-choo-choo. I think that's just a camera thing when it moves. Let's look at all the other details about this guy. What's this here?
Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera.
A camera? But it's so small. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Shom's skin prints?
I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Shom's inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera?
I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. He's ghost busting.
We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think.
The camera has been entered into the court record. Okay.
By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what pictures was taken.
What's a photographic plate?
It's a piece of glass. It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look.
You should see yourself, Susato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Aww. I mean, it's fun stuff. Anything else of note? Lantern. That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not unlike a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually, is it?
Lamp, lantern, chochin. The point is it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this, well, I certainly couldn't do it.
I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. Shoveru?
What a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night?
He's grave robbing. He's gonna take it for himself. Miss Susato.
Yes.
That's a spade, isn't it?
Oh. No, it's a shovel.
They had this discussion.
No. Shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. That's a spade.
We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel.
No. Although, we haven't considered trowels.
We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement.
So we're going to bury the hatchet, huh? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. I like, that's not a shovel, that's a spade. It's a step ladder. I'm glad the step ladder joke continues. And I like that they're both on the edge of like, nah, you're way wrong. But like, okay, fine, we'll move on.
Like, it's not important. We both realize what the tool is used for.
Yo.
It is him. He totally moved.
What if there's a secret base in the...
The dog let her hear.
But, so, what I thought when we went in here, what if there's a secret base inside one of the graves? I think it's a secret base.
What the bleeding Nora, Odo? What have you gone and done?
Gina, what are you doing here?
I asked Iris and she said this is where you'd be. So, Gina, not so loud in the museum.
Madame Tespel will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern.
I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... All right, Gina, we understand. But please, put down the gun.
Yo, she's gonna light the place up. She's here to party.
Sorry, I got scared.
You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. You should try being the other one on the other end of the barrel. So what brings you here, Gina?
What brings me here? What you think?
The dog.
We found it. We found it at Dodgy Cove's workshop.
What? You found Drebber's workshop? Oh, there he is. Oh, Toby. Hi, Toby.
Yup. Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now on a drag. So come on. Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once.
Oh, salute, Gina.
Right then, see you there.
Yeah, Toby. It's so pleasant. Thank you, dog, for just being around. All right, I guess that's... Oh.
You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here. Being still.
What?
I know my place. In the exhibit over there.
Look at this, like, dejected Sholmes. No eyes. He's so sad.
Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself.
Let's go, Mr. Sholmes. You're coming too.
Your words hearten me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here,
We wouldn't.
Madame would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner plate would be empty once more.
Forget that. I'll pay for everything.
And then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once.
His most important worry is feeding.
Yeah, his most important worry is to take care of that little Iris.
You're a good in place of your
He's
papa.
a good guardian. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes then.
I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Mr. Sato. Right, let's go. Ikimasu. Ikimasu? Oh, hey. It's a copy of the same machine. Enoch Drebber's workshop. Oh, this one doesn't have a... That looks like...
Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Quiver? Arrows? Oh, no. It's like someone who would use a crossbow is in here.
Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally.
You know what? I think that because we brought Sholmes with us, we're gonna have a fun time. I think we might have a segment here of like what the machine's gonna do.
Ah, so you got you then. And Gina, well done finding this place. And in such little time. You've really worked miracles. It's Toby who's the miracle worker.
Bark, bark.
I thought your lot would show up before long.
Why is Gregson cringing?
Do you have salt in your eye?
Do you have salt in your eye? Yo, it's just the Gregson cringe. Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. Looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips.
Maybe he hates the smell of that oil that's supposed to be
Ooh,
strong.
maybe he...
Specific.
So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here.
Oh, what a shame.
Yo, look at that little tank toy on the left on the desk. Oh, it's a train. No, but what train has tank treads?
New invention one?
Okay, yo, that's sick.
He's gotta play this off as a invention one.
Oh, bugga choo choo. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us the chance to investigate.
According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue you lot turned up. I wouldn't wanna, say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I?
You're saying that? She doesn't agree.
Thank you. She might not know she's tagging along.
Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak.
Them again.
I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types.
Right.
So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon?
That's well.
They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Ah ha 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 ha! Very droll, Gregson. Very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model.
Right then. Let's see what we can find in here. Arrows. 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 This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside.
Oh, and do you suppose?
Crossbow bolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds.
In other words,
Yup, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Trevor was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam.
the details of the crossbow have been updated in the court record. It belongs to Enoch Trevor. I can look up. Let's look at the gun. The warp gun.
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it, from the Crown and the government.
Look at this, these two just don't give a fuck. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back.
It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow.
No loose change dropped on the floor, nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideas, aren't they?
I think that's just these two, Mr. Sato. Tank treads? No, those tank treads are not interesting to me. Exit door? This door doesn't want to open.
Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it.
There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's giving it to you.
Look at that Gregson face. Nah.
He's like, I shouldn't have let you guys here.
He's like,
I'm doing you a favor.
he's like,
So, no problem.
Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. He's like, haha, no.
Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side.
No. Trevor must have fled at the first sign of danger. Okay, so that's that. That's that. We've checked that. Anything up here of note? Are we doing like a pixel hunt now? Oh. Aha, airplane. What on earth is this? Oh yeah, no, the concept of planes is just not even a thing.
An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies.
Is that how the trick will be that's how the trick will be described, is it?
Sorry.
Well, it's actually suspended by thin but very strong cable, isn't it?
Oh, well, this model is yes, but a real aeroplane would actually fly high in the sky.
Well, suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky. Of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in midair unsupported.
So to you, the solution is ever taller towers.
Rinosuke does not believe in
I
flight.
understand science.
I mean, to be fair,
Yes, it
if
would
you,
be unfathomable.
oh yeah, no, if you lived in that era, like, how the fuck would something fly? Like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
The concept of that is insane.
Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say?
It is an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pain would soon go away. Yeah, back massager. Doesn't that look like a...
trophy?
It's a back massager.
That would hurt some
I-
big deals if you hit your back like that.
Mr. Sholmes is just like,
It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage?
no. I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks.
I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course.
This is like... Sholmes is just like, listen, this is important, you're gonna need this, just take it. He's not going to let that go, is he?
It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly set aside. Cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times.
The science trophy has been entered into the court record. Thud. That's not where we're supposed to hear a sound from. I just need 2 more mini medals and I'm done the book. Ooh, nice. You're almost there.
Oh, is something wrong, Mr.
Sato?
Well, I thought I heard a noise. From the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it, Noel. What'd you reckon, Toby?
Bark, bark, bark. Right, mind the grease. Thud, thud. Oh. Whoever's in there, open up. This is Scotland Yard. No dice. Clomp, clomp, clomp? The fuck noise is that? What's a clomp?
I don't know.
Squeak, clunk?
Oh my, someone is in there.
Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. Click. There, you may enter at will. What? What?
Then he couldn't do it in less than a minute.
I mean,
He's a
shit,
lot
2
quicker.
seconds is a lot faster than a minute. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Our thinks like you.
Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for?
Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency.
There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow.
Yes. Oh, what are we gonna see behind this door? Who are we gonna see? Is it gonna be Enoch?
Dynamite.
A bomb? A bomba?
And a safe.
And feet prints on the roof? What's happening here?
A sample green balloon.
A sample group. Why is everything upside down?
Rats, there ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard these noises.
Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away.
But there's only one door into this room.
And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high.
What is that up there? I'm glad that we're addressing that immediately, because what the fuck? Are they footprints on the ceiling?
Blow me.
Blow me.
What do we got in here then?
Are we not addressing the dynamite in the middle of the room? It's right there.
It doesn't look lit.
Yeah.
Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints.
To what?
To that Professor Hairbrain's Barney machine, is it? Blimey, if we had these, there'd been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal.
There's something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? That's how we got out, man.
Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo.
You must investigate the room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too.
I'm like, dang it. We were
I-
having trouble investigating the last room.
We're
Now
already.
we have a-
Yeah, we have a new room. Okay,
There you go. He went to the dynamite.
Mr. Sholmes, have you found something?
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this?
Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before.
Oh, so you don't know what dynamite is?
Yeah.
You didn't look.
Oh, yeah, we did. Mr. Sato, what's the matter?
That's surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? Did you say?
A time bomb?
Sorry, but what is a time bomb?
exactly?
Eh? Ah, ha, 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 ha. You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo.
I won't take that as a compliment.
Huh. You don't know nothing, do you, Odo?
You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina?
I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance.
Oh, thank goodness. But then, what is it?
Is it a flashbang? I think it might be Big Flash.
I see. So that's it.
For a distraction?
It's
For
Distraction
the,
Bombo?
For the experiment thing.
Goodness, Mr. Sholmes. Have you seen to the heart of the matter?
There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself.
Wow.
Wow,
Thanks.
jackass.
But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mr. Sato.
Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming.
Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us.
Okay, so he's gonna be what the thing we're looking at is and how the dude got away.
The inverted nature of furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself.
But how could you?
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade.
Oh, I have to save that face. Just cringe. I do not see it. Well, Inspector Gredson seems delighted with the idea anyway.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sato.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Da-na-na! The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Flipped furniture.
It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, the chairs, and the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling.
Do you think the room is a weird room that like reverses and like flips upside down?
Before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was in the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity.
What is this fantastical scene? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no. Oh my god.
It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth.
I like how as soon as the teleportation machine was a thing, he was like, that science is bogus, this would never have worked. But then he comes here and goes, they've figured out how to stop gravity in this
Yeah, anti-gravity, total sense. It's totally fine. Warping, get that out of here.
For the gravity in this room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth of the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
What? No.
Why you believe?
Yo, I love how everything's floating in the air during this deduction. Like, it's just cool to visualize.
But then why does it have a clock on it?
A most relative question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Ka-chunk. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of that anti-gravity device.
Oh, we got 3 points. I just thought it was like, I don't know about that.
So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed.
Thanks, Sholmes. Because gravity was reversed. Yeah, seems legit. Missing engineer.
Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes. How is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer would lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there's but one way into this room. Excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah.
Oh, yo.
By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
I really like how the scene is presented. It's just, this is just cinematic as all hell. I love it.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes.
Yeah, she's going further up.
If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up the ceiling rather violently?
I did it. Good job.
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
The rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling.
It's gonna be raising itself.
Yeah.
Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun.
Thanks, Sholmes. Brilliant. A+.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
Thanks, Sholmes. Thanks.
When you've heard him say stuff like this, you can see why in court they're immediately like, we don't trust Sholmes' invention.
Yeah, this is why we don't listen to Sholmes in court. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me.
I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life.
The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean.
I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century...
No.
It is no more possible than instantaneous kinesis.
Well, what the fuck then, Sholmes? Why would you even bring this up? Your whole deduction hinges on it.
Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was, clumsy.
Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mr. Sato lent me once.
Objection!
What? Objection from Susato.
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, the spell's broken at last.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Oh. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we've faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled.
That argument is as circular as the coils of rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yes, you're right. We must do it quickly, before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. I mean, we've been here for like 10 minutes. That dude is gone.
Yeah.
If you're ready then, let us resume. Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.
Flipped furniture.
It's plain to see. I love how pumped Susato is at the beginning, and then by the end she's just like,
Lacey, the room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and the chair, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room is on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed. The key here
I still just love this cut.
is gravity.
Like, I just love this cut. It's just so wicked. And then he's walking through it, like, oh my god, it's too cool.
It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Yes,
The idea is fantastical, but we must put it out of our mind.
that's unusually merciless of you, Mr. Sato.
She's used to this now.
When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Inverted furniture, upright vase. What? Well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Look at that.
I know. That slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
What about it? Huh. Something else. Large safe? Oh, look, Mr. Sato. When everything seems to be upside down in here, This safe is conspicuously the right way up.
Yes,
Oh, what? Have you noticed?
yes, that's true.
Time to be Cosmos to try at least. Oh, do it. Do it up. Beat him up. You can do it.
But look more closely at the safe's feet.
Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Oh, yeah, I think room rotate. I think I was right with that one. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there.
I certainly didn't say that.
Inverted furniture. Let's check this out.
All the furniture in here is very conspicuously upside down, certainly.
Yes, it does immediately put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity, I admit.
Could it be that a mini whirlwind passed through here, do you think?
I'm not sure that's much more plausible than Mr. Shom's explanation.
Oh dear, saying the first thing that comes into your head isn't the way forward here, it seems.
Inverted furniture. Inverted furniture. It's not inverted furniture. Huh. Well, the fact that the vase is super upright, like that, this is sus. I already examined it. They didn't say much more about it. I'm gonna just present it. Ah, reveals the truth of the part gravity played in this whole business. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps. No one's trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility.
It is a time bomb?
You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally, there's an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. No. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Coal burning heater. Oh, huh. Why is the furniture upside down? I wonder if this has something to do with it. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair.
Oh, yes. Safe 432582.
Safe, as in safe and secure?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Oh, admittedly more likely.
Well, there's also a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
Take that!
Safe combination. That's gotta be why it's open. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo?
When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they've noted things down.
Not if you always know things in the same place.
Susato says, looking at her notebook. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room.
Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one.
Leading to the state in which we now find the room.
Okay, wait, hold up.
I figured it'd be somebody waiting for it.
I mean, the other thing I consider is why was there a vase just on the fucking ground?
Yeah.
Like, why was that just there? Like, unless they took it off something to flip the thing over. But still, I find that kind of silly.
Yes, Mr. Trevor overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe.
What if he's hiding in the safe? What if he's just, like, in there? To find the safe combination. Oh, yeah, that's a different franchise. Yeah, I think I'll allow myself to mention other movies instead. Yeah, that's Now You See Me. another great movie of that genre.
Let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer would lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get up there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all.
Oh,
Life was so much simpler in the halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
it was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Okay, Wait, he was trying to whip his shoes at this? Was he trying to get this down? It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there. Look.
Oh yes, there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became larger, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid.
Balloon? Is there something in the balloon? This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's healing that's keeping it up.
Oh, you know what? That was the clump sound. Clump, clump, clump. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me?
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look.
Yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. The reason footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe or balloon. Let's go balloon.
Take that!
Yes! Oh no, not the balloon. Being able to fly freely in the sky. That's been mankind's dream for centuries. And of course, the balloon is the invention that's made that dream come true. Mr. Trevor, clearly a man of dreams, used the balloon to ascend to the ceiling and plant his feet on the roof. That's not what I was going for, and you know it. Ah, come on, game. I take no pleasure in delivering bad news, but the undeniable truth is, it's clearly too small. What? I knew you were gonna say that. My dear fellow, then you're twice the fool. If people could fly in such small balloons, why would anybody ever manufacture larger ones? I despair of your lack of common sense at times, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, that really hurts. Coming from you. Yeah, how come I get demoralized when I'm wrong, but Shom seems to only get more powerful? Really are. The footprints up in the ceiling really are a puzzle.
And as they're close to the skylight, it really is very hard to believe the two are unrelated.
Perhaps we need to approach this from a different angle. Okay, shoo.
Take that!
There we go. Ka-cha! The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. Now, on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data.
It was a piece of green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second bird cage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Somebody say hi, got much fun since I missed most of the stream. Okay. Hope to see, I'll see you in the future. And thanks for swinging by to say hi. Something our spawner was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. Hope you're having chill time at work. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
The rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than the rope?
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Oh, what better tool than this crossbow? Yeah, let's go with the crossbow.
Take that!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Trevor. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Check this out! Ka-chonk? What? It's the head? What? A waxwork? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means.
And just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean? Oh goodness.
I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Sato. Excellent.
Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel model that was largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing.
Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel will now have to settle our sizable account with me. This, as you now have surmised, is the head of the infamous professor.
Yes. Oh, no, didn't mean to press that.
But why is it here?
And this conclusively confirms my suspicions.
Still got absolutely ironated. Oh, dang. Kalasmos' stuff. I haven't beat him, so I got nothing.
The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel and returning it, sans tête, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Drebber.
This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. The waxwork head has been entered into the court record.
Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect?
You mean Mr. Drebber?
It seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction.
Enoch Drebber's right here. Somewhere in this room?
So, Mr. Naruto, will you do the honors?
Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... I think he's in the safe. Yeah, I think he's in the safe.
Take that!
Yo, open up. Open up. Where you at, buddy? Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here.
Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time.
He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe.
And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber... Ka-cha-ka-cha! Is at this very moment inside the safe. Open up! This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
Knock, knock, open up.
Elementary.
Oh, knock, knock, open up, open up.
So, Mr. Naruto, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you?
By opening the safe, you mean?
What else?
Let's see. The combination was
432582.
I knew that. All right, here goes. Yeah, he's just...
You found me.
What? Oh, he's a weirdo. Oh, he's a big weirdo. Yo, what is he? Yo, why is he like breakdance getting up? Yo, why is this man pop?
Alarm.
Yo, what's this doing? Yo, holy shit, this dude just flexed on us. Yo, this dude just pop and locked fucking served us. Holy shit. Just like, nobody's commenting on that getup animation, but holy shit, that was rad. Yo, man. That dude's got some moves. Wait, I gotta watch that again. I'm glad I recorded that. Yo, let's see this guy's style. Oh, perfect timing too. Check out this clip. Oh yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Yo, look at this guy go. And that's that. Like, look, that was completely unnecessary, but was also fucking
Does
rad.
he now have more points than your witch lady?
Ooh, I mean, he's got cool points. Witch Lady has just like the hotness points. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. Correct. Oh, okay, he's getting Robo voice for sure. He's getting the Jack 7 voice. You'd better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions.
Yo, he keeps doing the wave. Oh my god, yo, I love this guy.
Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
Oh.
Ha ha ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then.
No.
No, just chuck the bomb in the safe and leave.
Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Oh, Sholmes just did it while no one was watching.
You trying to get us, help us get a killer, or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
Oh, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Yo, I'm all about this Enoch dude. Like, I know he's evil and a bad guy, but he's got the groove, and I cannot deny it. He's got the funk. Okay, let's talk with him. All right, Drebber, what's your deal? Just like, what is your deal, just at all? He looks like an FF14 character. What on earth happened in here?
You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Would you say he's got the Friday night funk? Oh, he's got, yo.
Beep, beep, up, 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 up.
Yo, Friday Night Funkin' is pretty dope. It's really weird, but it reminds me of Stepmania, so it's a fun one in my book.
Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Trevor. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. This I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Yo, just watch how this dude moves. Like, just all of them.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh.
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today.
Oh, we could have.
No words. Just tightly squeezed chips.
Didn't whistle.
Yep, we could have had more clues. But, I mean, we also got a dude, so.
Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down.
We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly, the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning incriminating blueprints, don't forget.
Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. Beep boop.
And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking.
So that when it
Well,
exploded, he'd get out.
I had no intention of being nailed by the police. So what was your plan if nobody opened the safe? Like, you'd just be
He got
dead.
a mechanical arm. He might be able to bust out.
Oh, yeah,
He wants the thing to blow out and him not be in the explosion.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And the time bomb.
Got a death wish, have you? Mine right beside a ticking time bomb.
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? Oh, okay, so that was his game plan. So, I mean, what if someone defused the bomb and was just like, damn, oh, it's a good thing we got that bomb out of the way. I wonder where Trevor is. And then they just leave.
Yeah.
Like, he's just...
That's fine with him too. He just didn't want to get caught by the cops.
It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
So in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely.
There's a.
There you go. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
Yeah.
No, that was unforeseen.
I wanted to blow
What?
everything
What do you mean?
else up.
It's like he doesn't want to kill people, just property damage. Yo, look at that man. Yo, look at him go. Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
So I thought I could grab the safe, turn it off.
I calculated the time to required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly.
But you guys.
But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. I mean, really, who stays around while there is a ticking time bomb? You had a full conversation about gravity that did not make any sense. look at Gregson just like...
Gregson's like, you said it wasn't a time bomb, man.
Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth?
I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough! Oh! That's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well,
Dr. Scythe again. So this forensic investigation team are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
my dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
They know each other.
Well, Sholmes knows everyone.
Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe. Yeah, Sholmes knows everyone. Everyone knows Sholmes.
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided.
We didn't look at it at all.
It's really nothing more than a shell. You get out. But of course, we'll show ourselves the door.
Well, she wants to be like, nope, it's a real machine that works because that
They're gonna
gets me my
tamper with
promotion.
evidence, yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
it would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for the day.
But Mr. Sholmes.
Hey, man.
Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable
We
hands.
got to see it at all, and we found...
We got to
Wait.
find like the sickest dance machine of all time. We got to find Groovebot. That also invents like magician stage props. What? Wild. What a shame that he was tricked into using them for evil scams and money.
Tricked.
Well, nah, man, look at him. A man that can groove that well, he can't possibly be evil or
I'm
greedy.
just thinking he stole that wax figure to remove the mask to see the face underneath. If I was making a wax figure of somebody whose identity I didn't know, you wouldn't bother making the face underneath. You would just make the mask.
Yeah, imagine under it, it's just like
a blob.
just like an emotionless face, like just like a nothing, like there's no
Yeah.
details. I mean, I think for the sake of drama, we're gonna
Yeah,
get to
it's-
see the face,
they'll have it
though
on
it is
there. But
silly.
I was gonna say, because the artist wouldn't know what it is either.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like putting nipples on a mannequin. You could do it for accuracy, but nobody would ever know.
I said get out. All of you.
Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood.
We're gonna tamper evidence here. We need you out of the way.
I'll just say one more thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector.
So he's like, so stop being so snippy. If you bring it up to Lord Strongheart, I'm gonna say, well, we wouldn't have any evidence.
Yep.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Trevor? So sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you?
Did we not?
Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you? That one? You mean?
There's another one somewhere.
Oh no! Where's this one? Oh, at the fair? What? Oh no!
That machine's gonna get destroyed, so you can't investigate.
Oh no, we
With the
can't
trapdoor
investigate it.
stuff.
Oh no, this was all a distraction. It was an hour later that we heard the news. The enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. Oh no, we'll never know how the machine was made. To be continued.
In theory, the forensic team already investigated.
Oh,
it.
I mean,
Too bad they're liars.
Yeah, too bad that the entire investigation team can't be trusted because fucking people's ambitions are in the way.
But in theory, the fact that that exploded at that time would have been like, whatever, man, we already investigated it.
Yeah, basically. But, I mean, we have the fact that the cage is broken at the bottom so that we can prove that maybe,
We took the
thing
cage out of there,
happened.
and they're gonna be like,
Yeah, we
"Why
just
did you
have the
take that?" And we'd be
cage.
like,
Yeah.
It would have been exploded. I think we helped you out here.
Exactly.
We're learning from the great Hosonaga to take everything possible from the scene of the crime.
no one will stop my crime scene thieving habits. This is the future.
We need to do it for justice.
We have to do it for
He
justice
doesn't
reasons.
get reprimanded for it ever.
Yeah, he does. It's because he's the new frontier. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call it here, because it's already getting a little late, and I think I made it through the whole stream without mentioning it.
Yep.
Thank goodness. It's gonna come back next stream. So
Well, none of the stuff that we looked at today was particularly about it.
yes, that's true. We didn't find anything about that today. We got a lot of backstory, and we got to see the sickest I gotta watch it one more time. I just one more time. We'll just. Let me just check them out. Man, that's the sickest character intro I've ever seen. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sad that I can't share this with anyone outside of the stream. Cause like it's gigantic spoilers and I want everyone else to kinda to have that moment too. Oh man, that's the greatest thing ever. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this weekend streams. Next stream, gonna be Thursday. We're gonna play some Tekken. And then Saturday we might have another Mario Party weekend. Mario Party seems to just be the really fun thing to do on Saturdays right now. Cause
You get to spend time with people and
yeah.
fun mini games.
We get to hang out with Mina, Red Mage Suze, CaptnmcD and I. It'll be a good time. And then maybe if Plicklice joins too, then like maybe CaptnmcD and I will like share a controller. We'll do something like that.
I think that not even necessarily Mina will come.
Oh yeah, Mina might be busy. Anyway, we're gonna organize something, probably. So that might be Saturday. If that falls through, it'll be Tales of Arise. And then between Sunday, Monday, Tales of Arise and Ace Attorney. Woo! I'm probably gonna do some subquests for Tales of Arise like off stream because playing it for today, I was just like, oh man, that's not enough. I'm like, it's a good thing I didn't do like any subquests on stream. So I have something to look forward to after this. In any case, I hope y'all have a good night. I hope you take it easy. Those of you watching from the future, I hope you enjoy the show. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out and have a good night, y'all. See you later.